Hey guys, I just wanted to make a video detailing what will be going into the limited run of gloves. I realize that it's not very clear what they are at the moment. So, like I said in the last video, right now what I do with my replicas, and I think most people do it, is you will take liberties with certain things that you put on them. Because some things that look good on screen with low light and filters and editing won't necessarily look good on a prop. And some stuff you won't even see, and I'll give you an example of that. But what these gloves are supposed to be is exactly what they would have been filming. So every little paint mark that I can find, every little scratch or dent that I can mimic, anything underneath gloves that I'm aware of, template changes, material changes, things like that. So I'll run through a list of what I'll be changing for what glove. For part 1 and 2, since they're essentially the same glove, they'll have the same things. It'll have plier marks where plier marks are supposed to be in the exact bends, which I already do, but what I don't already do is all of the underside detailing. So the fucked up rivets, how far the rings go inside the tips, where the solder marks are, where there's glue on the inside of it, the weird pinky rivet for the part 2 in particular. P210 replicas, of course. Type M pipe, .02 brass, so everything accurate as far as I can go anyway. For part 3, some slight template redesigns and basically just getting the paint as exact as I can, because right now it's an approximation, where with these gloves I'll spend a really long time getting the paint as close as I can, doing every little paint mark as well as I can, to a certain degree. Let's say 95% is where I'm going to take it. For part 4, solder marks, paint marks that I don't necessarily add right now, because again, they might look weird on a prop, but on screen they look good. And examples, there's a bunch of little red streaks on the pinky stall that I don't add there now because it looks like shit when I do it, but that's what these gloves are supposed to be, exactly prop accurate. It will also, if I can, use new style Wells Lamont. I ordered a pair to see if they're still garbage. If they're still garbage, then it'll just be using the leathers that I use now, but I'll be putting a lot more attention and detail into them. For the part 5, it's going to have an entire redesign, because I made my templates, even though they are technically screen use templates, I made them a very long time ago, and I didn't capture every little detail. So that's going to get an entire template revamp, as well as the part 4, it's going to get a revamp too. There's not a lot to change on it, but there's a little bit. And I'm going to be testing out some new weathering stuff for the part 5 as well. For the 6, some slight template changes. Mostly bend and weathering changes are what's going to happen. And I'm going to be doing quite a few tests on the weathering for the 6 as well, to try to get some of that weird, it's partially clean, partially dirty look. For Versus, template revamp, as well as different methods. You might have seen my last 2 Versus gloves where I showed off some of the weathering methods. They'll be a lot more controlled on the limited run. I will also, shut up dog, I will also be using much higher quality steel, so probably 1095 steel for the blades for those. Obviously the same make and model leather that I use now. That's about it for the Versus gloves. And then for the Remake, I'll be using accurate materials. So what I found out is that the strips in the cuff are made out of .05 copper or Type L pipe. It seems to vary. And then the stalls and the tips are made out of .025 copper, at least from what I can tell. So a much thinner copper. So I'll be doing that. And if I can, there will be another thing done to this glove that'll make it appealing, but we'll see how that goes. I don't want to say what it is until I know for sure. But the Remake is going to be the most expensive, because I am going to try to get all the dent marks accurate as well, so a lot of time is going to be spent doing the denting on the stalls. And then for the blades, they will also be 1080 or 1095 steel. The MIG welding, I can't really replicate, it's kind of random. I'll do what I can, but that's a little bit random. But It'll also get a template redesign. Not sure if I said that, but I have to change a little bit, not too much, just some of the curves and whatnot need to be a little more directed towards one glove. And for the Just a Taste glove, which I think is the last glove in the series that I'm doing, which is the teaser glove from 2010, I will be doing the glow effect paint. I'll be doing every little plier mark and bend that I can, of course. I'll be weathering it as close as I can, and the leather will be as close as I can get it, so a replica. That is already template glove templates because my friend Steve sent me one of the production gloves and I got to take the templates off that, so. But yeah, that's just a general guide for what these gloves are going to be. Right now, the pictures on the website are just placeholders, obviously. They're screen caps from the movies and behind the scenes. It would be ideal for me to sell one of these before I start making them because sourcing materials is gonna suck without that. But otherwise, I will just get to producing them in my own time if nobody backs it off the bat, which would be understandable. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think of the run of gloves, and I hope you guys like them and pick them up.